Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video we are going to see a new Power BI video, and as requested I have created a new and advanced Power BI project. So in this video we will see entire step-by-step process of creating this entire project. And in this we are going to design three dashboards and we are going to make use of advanced functionalities of Power BI in this. And as requested, the post which I mentioned, so many people requested to create an Power BI project. So here it is, and I will be also creating more Excel projects, SQL projects, Tableau projects, and Python projects are already in queue. So I just wanted to record now. Everything is ready, just recording is remained. So it will be coming soon for you as well. And so regarding this project, the data is already added in the description box. The link is added. You can just click on the link and you can download the data and you can follow along in this particular video, the steps which I am using in this, right? So before moving into this video, just let me give you an overview of what you are going to learn and what functionalities you are going to learn. So in this, you will be learning all the important DAX functions, advanced DAX functions, calendar tables, date tables, and with that, you will be also using many drill up, drill down, drill through features as well. The bookmark feature is also been used in this particular video, but I have not implemented yet, but I will try to implement it. If not, then you have to guess that, yeah, it is not been done because there was not any use case in this particular video, right? But definitely I will be adding it into the next project. But yeah, so before moving, I will just give an the uh, overview of this particular project. So this entire project is, I mean, it is a dynamic project or a dynamic dashboard. Three dashboards are being used. So I will just explain you what is there in this particular dashboard. So the data which we are going to use here is a Spotify data. The Spotify history data is been used in this particular project, where we will be designing this entire project by using that itself, right? So in front of your screen, you can see this will be our final output. And this particular dashboard, which you can see, we can call it as an overview dashboard, or we can also call it as a summary dashboard, which gives an information of three important aspects in any musical industries, right? Or any musical app. And in our case, it will be a Spotify analysis, right? A very famous music app, right, where you can listen the songs by using free versions or by using premium versions, right? So here you have albums. Okay, so we are going to see an insights for albums, the albums which are being played into this particular music app, then artists which are been performing and the tracks which are been run, right? So based on that, we will be using everything over here. And if you see the album, in that first we'll see how many albums are being played for that entire data which we have for that particular period or the history which we have. Then we will see the trend of each and every album, okay, through different years. So right now you have data from 2015 to 2024. So how is the trend and how is the listening patterns of that particular album, right? Then we will see the latest year versus previous year comparisons of albums, right? So here you can see this value will be for latest year. Okay, then it will be analyzed or it will be compared with previous year, and where we will find the percentage, right? And similarly here will be the latest year which we will be or which is available in the data set, right? Then we will see the album played based on the days. Okay, so we have divided the days into weekend and weekdays, right? Because weekday, it is business days, right, where people go to offices, they go to their works. So based on that particular weekdays and weekends, how the distribution of playing the music is there, right? So that also we are going to see. And then we will show the top five albums, right? And it will be by total album counts. So this will be for album, and same metrics or same information we will be also doing it for artists, right? And we will be also doing it for same tracks as well. So the same information or same insights will be gathering, but just it will be for different albums, different artists, and different tracks, right? So this will be doing we will be doing in this entire video. And then there are some filters available on this, like select platform. So platform is nothing but on which particular or what on what by what means that particular music has been played, whether it is played on Android mobile or it is on iOS mobile, or there is a casting of device to another device, like for it is casted to your TV or your monitors, right? Or it is played in Mac or a web player or a Windows player. So based on that, we have used here a filter. So right now it is showing information for Android. If you want to see for iOS, you can just click and you can see the entire thing will be, sorted for iOS. Then similarly for Windows, right? Similarly for Android. Getting? So likewise, we have used and bifurcated everything, right? Then next, we have also added a filter is shuffled and is skipped. So is shuffled means what? The song will play randomly through that particular playlist, and is skipped is nothing but you will skip that particular song. So based on that, we will have two values. Like if you want to say is shuffled, if it is true, then what is the information? If it is false, then what is the information, right? And then we can select all also. So you can also see for if it is skipped, that how many are been skipped or how many are been not skipped, right? So likewise you can see that particular information also. And here we have added a navigation page from where you can move from one page to the another page. So let's say if I want to move and see the dashboard or a report for listening patterns, so I'll just click on listening patterns and it will take me to this particular listening pattern dashboard. So if you can see here in this particular dashboard, we are going to see how are the listening patterns, at what time they are, what time the people listen this particular music, the albums and all those tracks, and how is their, uh, so at what time they and what at what particular hour in the day they listen more to the music, and based on that only we have created a matrix chart over here, or we also called as a heat map on this. So you can see this particular black area. So this area is where the music is been not played much, right? But if you see this greenish area, so it is the area where the maximum number of music is been played, right? So based on that, you can analyze and see which are the hours or which are the hours which are not being utilized and which are the hours which are being mostly utilized, right? And similarly, we have a quadrant analysis being used over here where we are analyzing average listening time in minutes versus the track frequency, right? So average listening time will be in minutes and track frequency is nothing but the number of times that particular similar track has been which has been placed, right? And it is completely dynamic. So this is an advanced analysis which is mostly used. And you can see there are four quadrants like first, second, third, and fourth. And here you can see obviously if you look at this quadrant, second quadrant is the important quadrant for us because whichever tracks falls in this particular quadrant, that particular tracks are best performing because they will have high track frequency as well as they will have the high average listening time as well in particular minutes, right? So if you hover your mouse on this particular dots, you can see which track is being played, like it is 19 dice 500 notches by N Directo, and the average listening time is 4.82 minutes and 144 times it has been played in that particular from last 4 years, right? So this is the data we have. So if you can see, this is the best one. Here you can see the average listening time is 5.48 and 180 times that particular track has been played. So if you want to change the average listening time, let's say you want to see that average listening time should, for me, for my quadrant analysis, the average listening time should be 3. So I will just press over 3 over here and I will just hit enter. Okay, as soon as I do, you can see this particular line which will be dynamic and which will be moved, and automatically those particular tracks which are falling in this quadrant will be taken as green and all other will be grayed out. Similarly, if you want to increase the track frequency, let's say I increase to 100 and I press enter. So you can see the user will have and that particular filter in here where they can type that particular average listening minutes and the track frequency by which they can find those particular music or those particular tracks which are best performing. So this is entirely dynamic, and this is a dynamic quadrant analysis which is an advanced analysis which we'll be going to do in this particular video. So if you can see, this is entire and this entire video is very much interesting and it will be very much there will be so much of learning for you in this particular video. And if you see over the third dashboard, so if you see this particular dashboard, it is a grid view. Okay, and here we are going to use drill up and drill through features, right? So I will show you how we are going to use those drill up and drill through as well. So what I will do, I will go to my main page and I will show you how to use the drill through. So now let's say I have this particular number of albums like 7, 8, So for 2021, those are 2668. So I have an option here, deal through. So it is nothing but I want to see the underlying data, right? So if you notice, the number of albums are 2668. What my end user want is, I want to get an export of all these 2668 albums, where I can just download those particular albums which are there in 2021, and I can use it for further analysis. Or if I want to send those particular albums to my head office, you can do that. So you have to just go to drill through, and you can just click on details grid, and you automatically you are at this page. And if you can see, this total number of albums column is there, and if you see the total number of columns, the number of albums are 2668, you can see at the bottom. So it automatically filters those particular number of columns through a drill through feature, and it gives us those particular information over here, right? And now you can just click over here, and you can export this particular data. As soon as you do, it will give you an information where you will be able to export that particular, and you can download it to your desktop. It will be in the form of CSV file or whatever it is, right? So I will not go much in that, so that you can do it. We will see how we do it in while we are designing this entire thing. Then there are some drill through and drill up features also being used in this particular thing. So you can see there is a drill up feature, and there is a drill down feature. So if I click on this drill down feature, then you can see the drill mode is activated. Now when I click on this bit list, let's say I click on this album. So as soon as I do, it will give me an information of that particular artist name. Now if I click more into this, it will give me the entire artist name and track name which has been played. If I click more into this, it will drill inside this, and it will show you on which particular you can say platform it has been played. If I click more into this, you can see on what particular dates it has been played. So in this way, you can drill inside the data, you can deep dive inside the data, and you can pick up the more information from that, right? So if I click here and if I go back, okay, you can go drill up. Okay, I will drill up. Drill up is nothing but seeing the more aggregated view, whereas drill down is nothing but looking at non-aggregated view. So we will reduce the aggregation in drill down, and on drill up we will increase the aggregation, right? So likewise, the more information, or in this way you can explain it, right? So then there are four more information, like increase the level of hierarchy. So as soon as I click on this, it will, so right now I will show you first, right? So right now it is album name. When I click on increase the hierarchy, now it will show me the artist name. As soon as I go into next level of hierarchy, it will show me the track name. As soon as I go more, it will show me the platform and number of albums. Right? Likewise, you can increase the hierarchy also. And again, you can click on drill down, drill up, and you can come to your original position. Here also you can see, you can expand all the hierarchy at once also. So let's say when I click this, you can see it will bring me one hierarchy. When I click on this plus, it will give me one more hierarchy. If I click on this plus, it will give me one more hierarchy, and likewise it will give me more information, like in one single code, right? So in this way, actually, we are going to create this particular details grid, and it will be very much dynamic. You can jump from this page to the another page, where you can drill through the data. You can look the underlying data as well, I can see. So let's say if you want to see this, right? So you can see there are number of tracks 1036. So just mention look at this number, right? So when I go on drill through, and when I click on details grid, you can see the number of tracks played. How many are there? 1036. Automatically those particular tracks will be shown to me with all the album names and all the information. You can just download this, and you can send to your head management. So likewise, it is giving me an advanced feature where I can dig down into that particular inside, go inside the data, find out more information, what is going on in that particular music, or in that particular album, that particular artist, or that particular track. And the more information we add, the more information we will be able to fetch from that particular dashboard, right? So this is lot to consume, but this we are going to design everything in this particular video, right? So before wasting much time, we will just move ahead, and I will show you the problem statement which we have over here. So I will just take you through the problem statement. So this is the problem statement. Okay, so this is the first dashboard which we are going to design, which I just explained. This will be the second one, and the third one is the grid view, which I have not mentioned over here. So there are different steps in this particular project which we are going to see. The first one is the requirement gathering and the business requirements, which we will see in the bit. Okay, so everything first we will see all the requirement gathering sessions, Then we will do the data walkthrough. So what raw data we have, then data connection. So we will connect our Power BI to our flat CSV file which we are having over here. Then we will do some data cleaning. We will check the quality of the data as well. Then we will do the data modeling as well, where we will be creating one different date table and calendar table, or calendar table I can say, and we will connect it to our main table in data modeling. Then we will do some data processing where we will be using some calculations to create that particular calendar table. Then of course we are going to use tax calculations. Then I have not added here the drill through and all those features, but those we are going to see over here. Then we are also going to see the dashboard layouting, which is the important part. We are going to develop all the charts, the dashboards, and we are also on the go. I will show you how to read those insights as well, right? So this is the information which are there in this, or the steps which are going to do in this particular project. So first we will see the business requirement. So let's discuss about my website before moving ahead into our project. So on this particular website, I have added different Power BI projects and different data analyst portfolio projects as well as it have data analyst complete material as well. And this entire material will help you in, getting polished your data analysis skills. And on the go you can learn different concepts. There are different handwritten and printed notes available, interview questions, and everything is available. You can just read. So you can see this is available on my website right now, and before you go over here you should watch this particular video. That is nothing but the data analyst roadmap which I created for edition 2025 few days ago. It's a 1 hour video and you will learn everything from this particular video. And the same thing after that, you will be able to understand what's available in this entire package. So this is the data analyst complete material which I have. So when you click on this, you will have all the things with syllabus, right? So you can see I have all the topics, right? Statistics, Excel, data warehouse, Power BI, Tableau, real-time projects, soft skills, 10 practice data sets are also available for you. And all the questions, interview, right? Round one, round two, round two, round three, managerial and everything. So everything is written over here. You can read what is available. So you can see this type of notes and this type of printed notes and everything, and questions and answers projects are also available, right? So everything is available. You can see for Power BI 7 real-time world projects are available, for Tableau 6 projects, for SQL 3 you can see, for Excel also 4 projects are available, and you can see everything. And also you can read everything and you will understand what's present in this package. All right, so also I have different projects also. You can see 18 Power BI unique projects are available. You can just go ahead and see what those projects are. You will be able to see everything over here. What are the projects, what functionality you will learn from that particular project, and you will be able to download all this. So these are the images of projects which you will get, and you will get the actual working file. .ppx file will be available in that. Raw data which is used to create this project will be available. You will also get in this particular thing the images which are being used, the problem statement, the domain document, terminology documents, important, all the things, all the wallpapers and everything, whatever I have used, everything will be available. You will get in this entire thing. And it is not only for Power BI, you will get it for Tableau, you will get it for SQL, you will get it for Python, you will get it for Excel as well, right? And here you can see more than 3,000 people have already purchased this, and they are doing great in their data analyst journey, right? So just go ahead. The link of this particular website will be available in the description of this particular video. Just go ahead, see if you like it, you can go ahead and make the purchase. All right. So let's move ahead with our video. In this digital music era, right? So everybody is right now, they can able to listen the music on their phone itself. And the app which you are going to use right now is the Spotify analysis, or the Spotify app. And based on that particular app only, we have gathered the data and we are going to do the analysis for that, right? So we are going to understand the different listening patterns for both the users as well as the streaming platforms. And this will focus on the Spotify albums data, and it will provide the user engagement with albums over different times, or the historical time period which we have, right? And the first analysis, as explained in the overview dashboard, I will be using, or we will be creating, will be albums, right? So for albums in this particular section, what we'll be analyzing is we'll find the total number of albums played over time, right? So what are the total number of albums which are being played from start to end, that is from 2015 to 2024, and it will help us to on trends. Okay, how are the listening trends over the months and years, right? Then we will be also finding out the number of album listened by year, right? So this will give us the habits of listening and what volume is been consumed in that particular year. All right, then we will be finding out the top five albums, right? So the bar chart which I showed you, and it will be helping us to find out the most or which will give us the information of the top five albums, the most played albums from that particular the Spotify app. And then we will be doing the analysis of latest year versus previous year, and this is important for us. Why? Because we will see the consumption of music, and day by day whether that particular users are returning to our app and they are listening the music or not, right? And if they are not listening, what we should do, what steps should be taken based on that. So that we will be doing, and for that we will be using the latest year analysis versus previous year analysis trends. And obviously the most important metric which we are going to find out will be the year on year, right? So this will be done for albums the same way we'll be doing it for artists as well, right? So for different albums, different artists will be there where they will play the songs, they will give the music to that particular albums, and definitely based on that we'll be giving there will be different artists, and the same information or same metrics will be using we will be finding it for artists as well, right? Then we will be finding out the tracks. Okay, so the same information or same amount of information which I explained for albums, we will be finding it for tracks as well, right? So the name of the song and all those things, everything will be doing it for tracks as well. So this will be for the first dashboard which we are going to design, that is will be an overview dashboard, or we can call it as a summary dashboard as well, right? Then moving ahead in this particular business requirement, we are also going to find out the listening patterns, right? So the first thing which we are going to do is listening hour analysis, and it will be for from in the entire day for 24 hours, and for different days in a week we are going to find out the trends of the visualizing patterns. Okay, and from this what we will be getting is we'll see the peak listening times and different patterns across the hours and days, and this will be done by using a heat map where we will be giving different colors, and based on the color intensity we'll be able to find out which are the most useful or most used hours where the listening of that music is done highly, right? And same way, we are going to find out the average listening time versus track frequency, where you will be using or you will be designing a scatter plot, and we'll be doing an quadrant analysis where I can say to categorize the tracks based on high frequency and high listening time. Okay, so this particular first one is the most engaging tracks, right? So this will be an the most important point for us, or this is the insight which we will be looking for, the most engaging tracks. Then next will be the low frequency and high listening time. So all these four I will be explaining you when we will be doing our analysis. So low frequency and high listening time will be the niche but impactful tracks, right? So tracks are impactful, but listening time is high but frequency is low. Then frequency is high but listening time is low, right? So this will be called as short and frequently played tracks, right? Then this will be low frequency and low listening time, and this will be very much low popular or less popular tracks where no attention is being given to these particular tracks, right? So this is the business requirement which we'll be doing. And the third one which we are going to do is we are going to analyze the details grid, where we will be using drill up, drill through, drill down, and we will be also using the hierarchical a way of drilling this particular data, and we'll see the underlying data which will be used for exporting that particular grid to to different users based on what filters we are applying in the first dashboards, right? So this I can explain you this better when we are designing that particular logic at the end of this particular video, because it is the end part. After designing all the dashboard, we are going to make use of drill through features. And the bookmark feature, I didn't find an use case while I was recording this particular video. But going forward, if I find something important where I can add in this particular video, I will definitely add, right? So that one part I will keep aside the bookmarks. I will see if we can add this, we can find any use case in this particular project. But obviously, I have added the important feature, that is drill up, drill down, drill through, and the hierarchical feature in this particular video, right? Or in this particular project. So moving ahead, so obviously you guys like the video, you do the complete project first. Most important for me would be to subscribe my channel, right? Why I'm asking you this, because it is free for you, but it will give me a motivation to create such advanced project on new topics, or we can say trending topics, so that you will get an idea of what is going on in the market. It will be useful for you as well, because you will be learning more and more new things. So people are watching, but they are not subscribing. So it will not take much time. 1 second will be required for just to hit that particular red button. Just go ahead and subscribe. And if you are enjoying this video, just click on like button. If there are any suggestions for me, just go ahead and comment. So this will be the data walkthrough, and this is the data which we are going to use for today's analysis. So this particular data you can download through the link which is available in the description of this particular video. You can go ahead, you can download it, and you can use for your own analysis, right? And you can follow me along this through video, and you will be able to perform the same things which I am doing in this particular video. All right. So I will just give you a quick walkthrough of this particular data, what metadata we have in this particular entire data set. So the total number of rows which we have, you can see the count at the bottom, it is 149k. Okay, almost 150,000 data is there, or we can also call it as 150,000 rows are there in this particular entire data set. It is a big data. And if you see the number of columns, the total number of 11 columns or 11 fields are there, which will be used in this particular entire analysis, right? So we will go one by one, and I will explain you what is the meaning of each and every data or each and every field over here. But you can also go through this particular domain document. Okay, so I have created this domain document of this particular Spotify analysis, which will give you an detailed theoretical information of each and every field which is available in this. So what is the description of that field, what is the format of that field, why the field is being used in this particular data set, right? So the first first field or the first column you have is Spotify track URI. So I'll just bold this so you'll understand. So this is Spotify track URI. It is nothing but an unique identifier assigned to each track, right? And it is required because when you store this particular data in your database, it is required in each and every column, so that we also call it as a row ID, right? And that's the reason we have used the Spotify track URI. So in this particular, each and every row will have a unique ID. Okay, unique reference ID, I can say, and URI is nothing but that. So ID it will be used as an primary key for this particular table, because it is unique for each and every row. There are no duplicates in this. So this is the Spotify track URI for us, right? The next is ES. ES is nothing but timestamp, right? And it is in UTC, right? Or Universal Time Zone will be there, and it is gives us the information of when this track was started playing, or it was when it stopped playing, right? And it is also giving us an information of timestamp as well, at what time it was started to play, right? And on what date it has been played, right? So the information which we have in this particular data, it will be having an information of from 2015 to 2024. Okay, so almost 9 years of data we have in this particular data set. And we have platform. So platform is nothing but on which particular device or on which particular operating system that particular music has been played, or this particular Spotify application or web application it's been used, right? So it can be a web player, it can be a Mac, it can be a Windows, or it can be an Android platform, right? So that is the information which has been present over here. Then this is EMS split. It is nothing but a millisecond split, right? So you can convert later this into minutes, but this gives an information of this particular track. It has been played for how many milliseconds, right? So this is nothing but duration of that particular track which has been played. So this is useful because here you can see it help us to find out the engagement analysis and identify how much time that particular uh, track has been played, right? Then we have the information of track name. Track name is nothing but it will be the title of the song which is being played, right? Then we have artist name. Artist name is nothing but the artist which has been present in this particular uh, you know in this particular data, right? Then we have album name, from which particular album that particular track has or the artist has been there, right? So that also we have. Then we also have the reason start. Okay, so now reason start is nothing but, let's say you are traveling and you just open the Spotify app, you started playing any music, right? So you just play first music, then automatically it goes ahead, and one song is been over, it will go to the second song automatically. So it is called as autoplay. Then there is click row is also there, so all the information is been present. If it is track done, then previous track was been ended and automatically the second track was played. Click row is nothing but user is manually selecting that particular song. Then back button is nothing but user pressed the back button and that's the reason the song was been played. Forward button is nothing but user clicked on the next song button, so that particular that song was played. And then play button is there because user placed the play button and automatically the song was played. And similarly autoplay is nothing but the next track was been automatically selected by Spotify, that is nothing but shuffle on, right? So that's the reason uh, how why the reason was or the start of that particular song was done. In similar way, why the reason was end, nothing but why that particular song was stopped being played. The same information is there, just there is one more added, that is logout. Why logout? Because if if user is closing that particular app and that's the reason that song was been shut down or it was stopped playing, so that is one extra been added over here, right? So these are the purpose. Why? What's the purpose is nothing but to understand behavior of engagement tracks from a reason end and reason start, right? Then there is one more, that is shuffle and skip. Shuffle is nothing but it indicates whether shuffle mode was on during playback or not, right? So it helps us understand how often the users turn on the shuffle mode. Shuffle mode is nothing but um, the random songs will be played from your playlist, right? And skip is nothing but if there is an song which has been playing but you did not like the song, you will click on the skip button and the next song will play. So it is useful for identifying the drop off rates and song popularity, if that song is popular or not, right? So likewise, if it is, and though these both of these particular columns have true and false values, right? If it is true, then the shuffle mode is on, or the song was skipped. If it is false, shuffle mode is off, and similarly for skip, that particular user did not skip to that particular song, right? So likewise, the data is available for us. You can read this document. Both the document and data is available in the description box. You can download it. All right. So in this way, we are going to see, or we have seen our data walkthrough as well. Now next, what we will do, we will actually start our design. First we will have to go with the step that is connecting data to our Power BI. So first I will open the Power BI and I will take a new file. Okay, so I'll just take a new file. I will take a blank report from here. And now I will connect to my data. First I will close my file over here. And now, so this will be the file when you click on your new file or when you open your Power BI, you will see this particular interface, this particular page. And now what you have to do is you have to connect to your data. So you have different by default options which is available over here. That is info from Excel and all those things. But our file which we are going to use, it is a CSV file. So I'll just expand this option. And now you have to go in home data. Okay, that is home ribbon over here. And here you have an option called get data. And here you have an option called text or CSV. So I'll just click on text and CSV. Now what you have to do is you have to go ahead and just locate the file which you have downloaded using the link. Just go to that particular folder and just locate that file. So for me, this is the file. I'll just click on open. Okay, so it will take some time to load the data. And one more thing, guys. Okay, so I'll just explain you this particular TS column. So most of the people will be facing issues over here because when I will be using this particular file, what will happen is For me the CSV is correctly working, but for you what will happen that some of the date formats will be incorrect, right? And when you start your analysis it will give you the different results. So first what you do, whenever you are downloading the CSV from the link which is mentioned in the description box, check if that particular date and time format is correctly mentioned or not. If not, you have to correct it first, right? And when you are importing it in Power BI as well, check the data type of this particular TS column. I will show you going forward. What I will do first, I will just click on load. So it will load all that particular data into my Power BI. It will take some time and it will give me the message. So you can see it has been loaded, and now I will just go here in table view. Just click on table view, and here you can see the entire data has been brought. And when you click on this particular expand option, all this particular fields has been brought into this particular this particular Power BI view, right? And now here you can see you have to check the data, see the data type of each and every data, and at the bottom you can see 149860 rows are being imported. So these are the same number of rows which we saw in the CSV file. So you also have to check if same number of rows are being imported in Power BI or not. If is there any data loss which has been happened while importing into our Power BI, so that you have to check. You have to check it every time, not only for this project, for each and every project which you will be working in future, right? Whether it will be a self-learning project or in your industrial project or real-time project, right? And this is also real-time data itself, guys. Okay. So here you can see this is a Spotify URL tag, and I was telling you about this particular field. I will so just click on this particular field, and when I click on this field, it is giving me the data type. So you can see the data type is date slash time. Okay, so this is the data type which should be there for you as well. It should not be something else like text or anything. It should be date and time only. If it is something different, you cannot proceed with whatever we are doing over here, right? So just make sure that it is a date and time data type which is available for you as well, right? The format doesn't matter. Format you can keep it whatever you have different formats over here, but I will keep it general date format only, right? So then you can check all the data which been brought or not. So you can see these are the platform. This is the ms or the milliseconds it has been played. This is the track name. You have artist name, you have album name, reason start, reason end, shuffled and skip. Everything has been brought over here. So this is the importing of the data, right? Then we have to do the quality check of the data. So for that, what I will do, I'll just go on home tab, and here you have an option called transform data. So as soon as I click to this particular thing, it is an ETL operation tool where you can prepare, transform, and load the data again back to the Power BI, right? So it is an ETL tool for us in Power BI. So as soon as I click, it will open me a new window which is called as Power Query Editor. We don't have much work over here, but what you have to do is you have to go in View column over here. Okay, so just go in view column and just turn on the column integration and column distribution over here. And just check if there is any error or empty values. Empty values are, I mean, if there is an empty value, it's fine for us, but there shouldn't be any error for us, right? So here you can see it is valid 100%, valid 100%. Check everything if it is valid 100% or not. So you can see here it is valid is 99.99. Okay, but empty is 1%. That's what does that mean? That there are some values in this particular field where there are blanks, right? So I will so just open those. You can see these are the number of blanks which are there in this particular entire data set. It doesn't matter for us because we don't have any information of that particular track, why the reason it has been started and what's the reason it has been ended. Okay, so that doesn't matter for us. Okay, so it can be blank, but it should not be, there should not be any error for us, right? So this is how you check the quality of the data. And fortunately, we don't have any data cleaning in this particular video or in this particular data set. All the data which was already cleaned, and the data we have taken from Maven Analytics, which was a part of a challenge which was done by Maven Analytics, and the same data we have just captured from there. So it is already a clean data. So big shout out to Maven Analytics, which from where we have taken this particular data and we are analyzing in this particular video, right? So yeah, shout out to Maven Analytics, right? And credits to Maven Analytics as well for this particular data which we are using over here, right? Now we haven't done anything, just we will go back, and if we have did anything, we just have to click on close and apply, and it will take me back to our Power BI, right? So all the changes which we have done over there, it will be brought back over here, right? So I've just showed you quickly how to do the data quality check. I have also created an entire video of how to do data cleaning. Okay, I have added the link of entire data cleaning video in Power Query and in Power BI in the description of the video. You can watch that 1 hour video, and it will be enough for you to learn how to do data cleaning as well as data modeling. Okay, two separate videos are been created for that, right? So we will move ahead into our project. So as you see in this particular analysis which we have to do here, so let's say for albums, you know that we have to do last year analysis, that is previous year, and year on year growth analysis. So whenever you have to play with date, okay, I mean to say, if anything which is related to date, we always have to use a time intelligence functions, DAX queries over there. And to use a time intelligence, we have to use a date table. Okay. And when I say date table, it is important for us to use a date table because whenever we are dealing with time calculations, it is not only for this particular project, but it will be for any project which you will be working in future. Each and every data will be having a date column, right? So for years, it will the date column which we have is TS, nothing but timestamp. For you, if you are working on any different project in your real-time world as well, you will have a different name for your date field. But always remember, date field will be always there. And whenever date field come into picture into your data set, you always have to use the date table. Why? Because that particular date table will help us to give an organized date formats or dates which can be easily used for us analysis for our analysis, or also help us in using time intelligence DAX functions, right? So in the same way we are going to use in this particular video as well. So it is also called as a date table, or we also called it as a calendar table, right? Because anything related to dates, uh, whether it is week, month, quarter, or any ISO dates, ISO months, any fiscal calendar months, you have to find out, right? So if fiscal year starts from one point and ends it for Indian, if it is say, if you say fiscal year starts from 1st of April and ends on 31st of March. So you have to set those particular dates in that way, then you have to use a date table, right? So for the same way we are going to use in this particular project as well, we are going to create a date table for us. And for that, I will just create a new table over here. So you just have to create a new table. As soon as you open a new table, you can see a new table has been created. So this is our original table, that is Spotify history. A new table has been created, that is, for now the name of the table is table over here, but I will name it as date table. Okay. As soon I do, you can see the name also here will be also changing. Okay, so here you can see the date table name has been changed, and now we will open, or we will write a calculation to create a date table over here. And this particular date table we will derive it from main table itself, right? So just calculation we are going to write over here. Okay, so I will be using a calendar function over here. And the calendar function, you can see it will take two arguments. First is the start date, and second will be the date, the end date. Okay. So now start date here, you can mention it, you can hard code as well. You can just type in double inverted commas, you can add date, month, and year, and you can hard code the start date and end date. And between those start date and end date, all the dates whichever are there, it will give you the list of all those in the form of rows. Okay, but we want it dynamic. Okay, so whenever the date in, or you can say in Spotify history table, that is our main table, if the date changes, it should be changed in calendar table as well, right? Because the feed of this calendar table or this date table, it should be taken from the main table itself, right? So the start date, I will be taking it from TS column, is there nothing but timestamp. From here itself we will take the start date, and from here itself we will take the end date. So the start date, what we will be taking, the start date, or whichever is the minimum date. Okay, whichever is the lowest or the minimum date which is available in this particular table or in this particular field, here it will be taking, we will be taking it, right? So I will be using a minimum function. Okay, and then we will take it from TS. Okay, so I will just type TS, and you can say the Spotify history TS field is available over here, comma. Okay, so this is the which we can say minimum of TS, nothing but minimum of this particular field. It will be taken as a start date, and second argument now we have to mention, that is end date. So for that I will be using max. Okay, I will be using the function and I will use TS. Okay, I will close this bracket and I will close the bracket of this calendar, right? And as soon as I hit enter, okay, so it is giving me all the dates over here, but it is also giving me the timestamp over here, right? So you can see it is giving me the timestamp. Why it is giving me all those information? Because here you can see the timestamp, the TS field over here, you can see it is in the form of date and time. Okay, when I click over here, it is a date and time format. So for us, you can use that particular thing. Okay, so whatever table we have created over here, you can use this particular table. But when you are creating joins, okay, when you go ahead and create joins in data modeling, it will give us the incorrect results, because this particular date, okay, when you join this particular date to this particular date, okay, so if you join this date to particular this date, you can see there is a difference, because it is 18/7/2013, let's say for example, but a time value is also available over here. But when you go to our date table, there is no time value available over here, and that's the reason we will be not able to match those particular two columns. We cannot join those particular two columns, because in forward in because in this particular project going forward, in data modeling we are going to connect this particular two tables based on date function. So to take that precaution, initially only what we will do, so in this TS column we have, sorry, what we will do, we will just extract the date from here and we will extract the time from here. So we will just split this column into two different columns, which will just give us the information of only date and only time. So for that, in this particular column, what we will do, or in this particular table, I will just right click in Spotify history and I will just click on new column. Okay, so we have to create a new column. So I will just create a new column and I will name that column as track played date. Okay, so it will be track played date for me. Okay, and I will just use a function date. Okay, so it takes three arguments: give me the year, give me the month, and give me the day. Okay, so for year I will use a year function. Okay, and from where it should take the year, it should be taking the year from this, that is this function, that is ps, this date. So I'll use, okay, I will take year from this date, close the bracket, comma. Now I want a month, so I will use a month function for that. I will take the month from the same column, that is ts, close the bracket, comma, and the third argument I want to take day, so I will use a day function again and I will take it from the same field, that is this. Close this bracket and close the bracket of this particular date and just hit enter. So as soon as you do, you can see we have got a new field over here which gives us the information of track play date. So here only date has been extracted, but with that field, or with that time is also been, the time component is also there, but it is 00 everywhere. It does not fix any value. So what we will do, we'll change the data type of this. So just click on this column, go to column tools, and here you have a data type. So I'll just drop this down and I will just click on date. Okay, so as soon as you do, you can see now only date is there, right? And from here you can choose any date format which you can choose. I will just choose short date. And now here you can see, here it is only taking the information of date, right? So we have extracted from this particular column, we have extracted only date. Now what we will do, we will also extract R also from that. Okay, so, or we can say that particular timestamp we have to take from there. So what I will do, I will right click over here and I will just click on new column and I will just name it as track played time. Okay, so I want to extract the time component also for that, and I will be using the format function. Okay, so what should be the value, for which value I have to use it? So for ts, okay, so for this column, comma, what should be the format, in what format the time should be there. So I will, in doubly noted comma, I will type hh, that is nothing for hours. Then I will take that is nothing for minutes, colon, ss, that is nothing for seconds. Close this double inverted comma, close the bracket and hit enter. As soon as you do, you can see I have taken the information of all track plate time over here, but the data type is text. You can convert it into time. Okay, just click on yes. Okay, so as soon as you do, the time has been converted, right? So you can see this, all the information which we have over here, it is now in time, right? So we have extracted date, track plate date and track plate time, and now we will be using track plate date to create our date table, which will be next, or in forward we will be using it for data modeling. So now click on this date table. Now instead of this minimum of TS, we will take it as track plate date. So we will be using track plate date over here also, and we'll be using track plate date here as well. Okay, and I will just hit enter now. Okay, so as soon as you do, you can see the values are there, but again here also what we will do, I will just click on this particular date column, and I will name this particular, change the name or data type of this to date, right? And I will change the format to short date. Okay, so now you can see the minimum date which is available for us, that is minimum date which was taken, it was at 8th of July 2013. And when I go to extreme bottom, the maximum date which is there in our data set is 15th of December 2024, right? So between all of these two dates, okay, we have taken two arguments. First was this date, so this value, okay, so minimum of this, it will give us this date, and the maximum of this, it will give us the last date. And in between whatever dates fall, okay, irrespective of which whether they are available in this particular data set or not, it will give us all the dates, and each and every row will have a unique value. You can go ahead and check, right? So each and every row, you can see this is 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So each and every row will have an unique value over here, right? So now we have created a date. Now what we will do, I will just right click on this date table again, and I will create a new column. Okay, and I will name it as year. So I want to find out year also. So it's simple, we'll be using a year function. Year from where? From this particular date. So I will just type date. I will scroll up, and here you can see from date table, date column, I have to take it. So I will just hit enter, and it will give me the extract the year from here, right? So you can see here, when I scroll down, from this particular date, it will just give me the date information, that is 2016, right? So now in this way, we have created a date table or a calendar table, sorry, calendar table. And in this, what we are going to do, we are going to create a more and more columns over here, but I will not create those now. Going forward into our design and development, whenever required, we will create those, and we will know why we are creating those. So instead of creating it right now, we will go in forward our design, or going more into our design as per requirements, and then we will do those, right? So year was required, which is very obvious, we will require year, so I have just created that. Now the next part we have to create is data modeling. So just click on model view over here, and as soon as you do over here, you can see there are two tables available for us. And right now these two tables are independent. So this table is independent, a standalone table. This is a independent, a standalone table. In between these two tables, there is no relationship yet created in between them, right? So in this particular semantic model, what we are going to do now, we are going to join these two tables, right? So you have a date over here, track plate date, and you have a date over here. So what I will do, I will take this particular date and I will drag on this particular date. As soon as you do, what it is giving me a creation of new relationship, right? So from Spotify history table, the track played, that is grayed out, this particular column is been used. And from date table, this particular table is been used. And automatically the cardinality is one to many, right? So or we can say many to one, one to many, it is same, right? And the direction of filter is single, nothing but from one way the direction of filter will work. From this table, whenever there is any filter, it will work for this table. It cannot work from this to this. Only in one way it will work. So right, it is enough for us, right? So I'll just click on save. And as soon as you do, a relationship is been created, and when you hover your mouse on this particular noodle or in this node, automatically it will show which two columns are being used for joining of these two particular table, right? And the direction here, you can see the direction is from this to this. It is nothing but if a field from this particular table can be used to filter out this particular table, but from this table it cannot filter out this table. So it's the reason it is in single direction filter can work, right? And here you can see one is there, and here many is there. What does it mean? As I told you in date table, I told you that this particular date, okay, so this date is having a value, a unique value on each and every row. Okay, if I show you over here, this 11/7/2013, it is present only on one row. Here it is not repeated. Next it's 12, next is 13. So it is appearing only once in that particular table or in that particular field. So that's the reason it's called also as a primary key for us, right? But when you go into our main table in Spotify history over here, you can see here 18th of July, it is repeated over here. Here also it is repeated. Here also it is repeated. So it is not unique over here. It is repetitive, right? We can call it as a foreign key, right? So there are many dates available over here, but in date column there is single date on each and every field, right? Or each and every row. And that's the reason one to many relationship, right? And it is recommended to have one to many relationship or one to one relationship, but it is not recommended to have here also star and here also star. It is called as many to many relationship. It unnecessarily increase the number of rows in our data set. And when query is fired from Power BI to this particular data model, it takes a lot of time to load the data and there are chances of duplications of data, right? So it is recommended to have either many to one or one to many relationships, or also one to one relationship will also work, right? But many to many, in very rare cases, you are allowed to do that, where you can control the flow of data, right? So this is how we created the data model, and you should know this information. And for this particular all informations, I have created an entire video where you will learn everything related to data modeling. It is available on my channel. You can just search data modeling by data tutorials. You will get a 1 hour video where a real-time data model I have created by using 5 to 6 tables, and it will show you and it will help you understand how we are doing all those informations, right? Or how a data modeling is done. Because data modeling is heart of any project, of any development or any report. If your data modeling is incorrect, if it is not done correctly, you will get totally, I can say, incorrect results in your reports, right? So if data modeling is correct, you will get accurate results. If not, you will get messed up results even though your DAX and your procedure is correct, right? So most of the time, 60 to 70% of work is done on data itself, right? So this is part of data only. Okay. Report creation is very, I can say, a simple thing which we can do, because anyone who knows how to write calculations, who can he make use of Google and he can write the calculations. But data modeling is something you have to learn it. Okay. No Google or nobody can help you understand how the data is. You own have to work on it and you own have to understand how the data works. So read the data, always go ahead and read the data. Here you have the data, right? The data which I just showed you, the Spotify analysis data. This is the data, right? Read the data, go in every bit of this particular data, why we are using these fields, what are the use of these fields, how the granularity of the data is. So you will understand most of the things here itself, right? 60 to 70% of project will be done using data only, right? So I will not waste much time on theoretical part. Okay. But yeah, this was just how we do it. All right. Now next we will actually start our design based on our problem statement which we have. Okay. So let's discuss about my website before moving ahead into our project. So on this particular website, I have added different Power BI projects and different data analyst portfolio projects as well as it have data analyst complete material as well. And this entire material will help you in, getting polished your data analysis skills. And on the go, you can learn different concepts. There are different handwritten and printed notes available, interview questions, and everything is available. You can just read. So you can see this is available on my website right now. And before you go over here, you should watch this particular video. That is nothing but the data analyst roadmap, which I created for edition 2025 few days ago. It's a 1 hour video, and you will learn everything from this particular video. And the same thing after that, you will be able to understand what's available in this entire package. So this is the data analyst complete material which I have. So when you click on this, you will have all the things with syllabus, right? So you can see all the topics, right? Statistics, Excel, data warehouse, Power BI, Tableau, real-time projects, soft skills, 10 practice data sets are also available for you. and all the questions interview, right? Round one, round two, round three, managerial and everything. So everything is written over here. You can read what is available. So you can see this type of notes and this type of printed notes and everything, and questions and answers projects are also available, right? So everything is available. You can see for Power BI 7 real-time world projects are available, for W6 projects, for SQL 3 you can see, for Excel also 4 projects are available, and you can see everything. And also you can read everything and you will understand what's present in this package. All right, so also I have different projects also. You can see 18 Power BI unique projects are available. You can just go ahead and see what those projects are. You will be able to see everything over here. What are the projects, what functionality you will learn from that particular project, and you will be able to download all this. So these are the images of projects which you will get, and you will get the actual working file. .ppx file will be available in that. Raw data which is used to create this project will be available. You will also get in this particular thing the images which are being used, the problem statement, the domain document, terminology documents, important, all the things, all the wallpapers and everything, whatever I have used, everything will be available. You will get in this entire thing. And it is not only for Power BI, you will get it for Tableau, you will get it for SQL, you will get it for Python, you will get it for Excel as well, right? And here you can see more than 3,000 people have already purchased this, and they are doing great in their data analyst journey, right? So just go ahead. The link of this particular website will be available in the description of this particular video. Just go ahead, see if you like it, you can go ahead and make the purchase. All right. So let's move ahead with our video. So now after our modeling, we will go to our report view, and in this particular report view, we will start our designing of report after or based on our problem or business requirements which we have. So first thing before doing that, what I will do, I will just set up our page. We will do a page setup. So for that, what I will do, I will just click anywhere over here and go to visualization. Okay, here go to visualizations, and here you have format your page, and I will just go to canvas background. Okay, so the background which I will be using, I will be using a color for that, and I will just use more colors, and I will be using an hex code over here. So the color code which I will be using will be 1F 1F, sorry, 1F 1A 1A. Okay, so it is 1F 1A 1A, and the transparency, let me check the transparency, what is that? And it's 0%. Okay, so the transparency right now here it is, you can see I have given the color over here, but the transparency here you can see it is 100%. So you have to reduce it to 0%, and then you will be able to see that color over here which we just applied. Okay, go again over here and go to canvas settings, and the vertical alignment I will choose it as middle, so it will be at the center. Alignment The vertical alignment will be center, and here you can see the type is, or the width and height, it is right now 16:9, but I don't want this. I will use a custom size for this. So the height which we will be using, it will be 2200. Okay, so I'll use it as 2200. Okay, so 2200 will be height, the pixel for me, and the width I will be using at 3300. Okay, so this will be the height and width for me. Okay, and here you can see the percentage over here. Just click on this particular percentage, that is for the zoom of this particular window. You can just use fit to page. Okay, just click on fit to page and click on apply. So automatically through your particular page size, it will be automatically adjusted. So I will just click this over here, and you can see now the percentage is changed to 32. So I have just used a fit to page. So entire page will be shown to me without any vertical and horizontal scroll bars in this particular report view, right? So now to start our design, what we will do, first we will add the heading of our dashboard, and we will add the logo of Spotify. So for that, go to insert tab over here. Here you will insert an image, so just click on image, and I will locate this image. So this image, it is available in the description box, the same folder which you will access, and from there you can download this particular image. So I'll just click on open, and I will open it, and I will just increase the size of it like this. Okay, so first I will choose this particular thing. Okay, the final one only we have choose. Okay, and I will reduce it likewise. and reduce it like this. Okay, so let me check in this. So I'll just check the properties of its height will be 200 and width will be 575. Same thing I'll be using over here. So use height as 200 and width as 575. Okay, so this will be the heading of our dashboard. Okay, and just place it at the top left. Okay, so the same way which we have added over here. Okay, so now next what we will do, before starting we will add these containers. Okay, we have these three containers over here to take all the information of artists, albums and tracks. So I will just add this container over here. So for that, I will just go to insert, and in insert you have an option here called shapes, and in shapes I will add the rounded rectangle. So just click on this. I will increase the size likewise, and first we'll just give the size from here. So go to general, go to properties, and the height I will be taking it as 1832. Okay, so the height for me will be 1832, or it should be less than, so I'll just take it a bit up and now. So just take it at the top and then give the size. Okay, 1832. Right, because if it is in middle somewhere it will be not able to extend because it extend in downward direction. So just take the shape at the top and then specify your height. Right, then the width for me will be 980. Okay, so this will be the height and width. Okay, and then go to shape, and in shape the rounded corners which we'll be using, I'll be using it at 3%. And rotation we will not use, style will go, and we'll turn off the border. Okay, turn off the border, and the color which we are going to use for this will be hashtag. The hashtag color which we'll be using, let me check what's the color. Okay, so the color will be 1F 1A. Okay, so this will be the color, but you can see the color of this background and this background is same, but I need to check what is the color of our background. That is nothing but this particular background. Okay, so yeah, so what changes you have to do, guys? Okay, so I mistakenly taken different color codes. So just click anywhere outside. Okay, just delete this. Okay, just click anywhere outside, go over here in format your report page, go to canvas background, and I will change the color. We are not going to use this color, so just change the color over here. So the color which we'll be using, it will be 282626. Okay, the hashtag 282626, and you can see the color has been changed. And now the shape of the color for we will be using for shape, it will be now, it will be some darker color, and the background will be some grayish darkish color, or you can say shade of one of the shade of black. And now we'll just bring it over here, right? So just bring it over here. Okay, so in this way we'll be adding our shape over here, right? So now we have added the shape, and now what we will do, we will start designing, right? So now first thing we have to do it for albums. You can see in our business requirements, the first thing we have to do it for albums. So I will just add a text over here. So for that I will just go in insert, and here you have an option called text. So just click on text. I will just bring that text box below over here, and I will type and text as albums. Okay, so you can see the text is very small because we have increased the pixel size of our dashboard. So just click on select all. You can see a very small text is there, so it has been seen over here, but you can just go ahead and increase the font size. You can just increase the font size to 44. I will just increase the, you can see now it is visible for us. And the font which we'll be using, it will be Corbel. Okay, and we'll make it as bold, and I will just click it as center, and I will just adjust the shape right now. So I just adjust the shape, then I will go to properties, not properties, go to effect and turn off the background for this. Now just select the entire text over here, and we will make it as this particular white. Okay, so this will be the heading for us, and now just select this and just take this particular text to over here. Okay, you can move it by using your arrow keys also, right? The same way which we have added over here, right? Now next thing what we have to do is we have to find out, uh, as per our problem statement, now what we will do, we have to find out the total number of albums played over time. Okay, so now if you go ahead and see our data, I will just show you. So you can see we have an the field over here which says album name. Okay, So there are so many albums available over here, but you can see they are repeated on each and every row. For few rows, those are repeated. So we have to take count of albums, but you cannot take only count. You have to take distinct count of albums so that all these MGMT album name will be counted as one time only when you use distinct count. If you use count, it will be counted as 5 times over here, which we don't want, right? So what we will do, we will go to our analysis. I will just right click over here and I will create a new measure. Okay. So what's the difference between measure and column? So column, it does an row by row operation and it gives as an output in the form of that single row. But measure, what it does, it takes an aggregation, right? So count is aggregation, distinct count is aggregation, sum, average, mean, max, anything which you are using and as an aggregated functions which you are using, it will be taken in the form of measures, right? So here also we are going to do some aggregation, so that's the reason we have selected measure in our tags, right? So it will be what, my number of albums. I will name it as number of albums. Next thing what I will do, I will choose here as distinct count. We'll be using a function called distinct count. We have it over here, and we have to take distinct count of album name. So it will take distinct count of album name, and we'll just hit enter. Okay. As soon as you do, you can see a new measure has been created, and now we have to create a KPI card over here. So for that, from here I will just select the card. Okay, or you can see just select the card. You can see a card will be appeared over here, and in this card I will just use number of albums and I will add it into fields. You can see the number has been appeared. Okay, so this is a number of albums for us. Now what we will do formatting of this. So I'll just go in format visual, go in general, and here first I will go in effects and I will turn off the background. Okay, and then go in visual, so turn off the category label as well, we don't want to show it. Go in category value over here, and here what we will do, we will choose the font as Sagio semi bold. Okay, and the font size will be for us as 40, and color which we'll be using for us will be this. Okay, so this is our number of albums, right? Now next what we have to do is, here you can see as per our created dashboard we have this value over here. What I will do, I'll just use as semi bold. Instead of semi bold, I'll use bold. Okay, so now we have this value. Now what I will do, I will have to add this value over here, but you can see one more container we have to add. So this container we have to add. So I will just take the property of that container. So if you go ahead and see, the height is 510, height is 510, and the width for us will be 900. And just let's check its color code as well. Go in shape, the style is, it is 3%, and the color code which we have used over here will be, it will be hashtag 282626. The background same, the color which we have used for here as well. So I will just go ahead and I will go in insert and I will go in shape and I will just take this shape for us, not this. Go in shapes and select this shape. Okay, so here what we have to do is go in general properties. So the height for me was 510 and the width for will be 900. Okay, then we'll go in shape, we will go here, the rounded corners will be 3%. In style, the border will be off, but in color code, we'll be using the color code as hashtag 282626. Okay, so this will be the color. And now I'll bring it over here. Perfect, right? So likewise. All right. And now I will just bring my KPI card over here and I will place it over here. Perfect. But you can see the KPI card you cannot see over here because it has gone behind this particular shape. So what I will do, I will just select this particular shape, go to format, and I will just click on send backward. Just click once. Okay, if you click twice, this shape will go behind this background shape also. It will go behind that also. So don't do that. Just click once and it will appear over here, right? And here you can see this is the number of albums over here. I will just format this now, and next what we have to do is we have to add this particular text, that is album played over time. So I will just go in insert again and just click on text box and I will type it as albums, or what we will do, I'll just delete this. Just delete this and one sec, remove. And I will just copy this. Just select this, Control C, Control V. Okay, I will copy this and the same thing we'll use. So I will name it as number albums played over time. Oops, I will just press Control Z. See, I will just click here albums played over time. Okay, right. And we'll just do some formattings over here as well. So I will use a font as Calibri, and I will use the font size for me as I'll use it as 28. Okay, so select this entire thing and I will then select 28. Okay, and the color we'll be using as this. So now reduce this and we'll bring it over here. So alignment for you, it will give some time to adjust alignments. Okay, perfect. So these are seven, whatever it is, 7907. These are the total albums played over time. But if you can see here, it is for the entire year. Okay, but you can see right now here it is been chosen only as Android platform. So we will add that filter later. Okay, so for now, just keep it as entire for all the columns or for all the data whichever we have in our data set. So these are the total for all that particular, okay, without irrespective of any platform. So it is for all the platforms, but here it is only showing us for the Android platform, right? So now next what we will do, as per our problem statement over here, we have to find number of albums listened by year, and we have to create an area chart for that. So from here I will just take an area chart. So this is the area chart, and we have to take year first. Okay, so on x-axis I will take year, and number of albums I will add it on y-axis. Okay, so these are the albums played per year. So based on how is the from here you can see how is um, the trend of albums or the number of albums played per year, right? And now for here we will do some formattings on this. So first go in general, turn off the title and turn off the background as well. Right now go in visual. So I will go in y-axis, x-axis first. So I will just turn off the title first. And on values, I will just go over here. So on x-axis, I will choose it as 16. Okay, so values I will choose as 16, semi-bold, and the color I will choose this, or we can use this color. Okay, so it will be somewhat visible for us, right? Then I will go on y-axis, so turn off both values and title. Okay, so on y-axis turn off both values and title. Then grid lines. Okay, go in grid lines and turn off the vertical grid lines as well. Then go to lines. Okay, so the line here we'll choose it as join type we'll choose, or yeah, interpolation we'll choose it as smooth. Okay, so we'll take interpolation as smooth, so we'll have a smooth uh, timeline over here for date versus we can say a year versus albums. So we will get a smooth line, and the line pixel I will choose it as 6. Okay, so this will be the 6, and we will go in color. I will choose the color for me as hashtag 016722. Okay, so this is the color code which we are going to use for here. Next, shaded area, go in shaded area, and here we will keep it as 60% itself. Then go to markers. Okay, so we'll just turn on the markers as well, and pixel size we'll give it as 12. The color for the markers, I will just change the color for the markers to hashtag 039432. Okay, so this is the color for me. All right. And now, so this is the formattings for us, which we have done. All right. I think so. This is correct. Yeah. And now we'll just place it over here. So I'll just select this chart, just go to general, and here we will just choose the height and width for this. So the height will choose it as 355, and the width for this I will choose it as 865. Okay. And this we will place it over here. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, looks nice. All right, guys. So in this way, we have created our two problem statement in from the albums, that is the total number of albums played over time and number of albums listened by year. So in this, one more thing we have to do, and I have not added in this particular problem statement, that we have to mention the values for minimum and maximum number of columns, or we can say number of albums. Right here you can see I have mentioned here the minimum value and I have mentioned here the maximum value. So here we have to mention it over here. But when you go and go to format visual, and when you click on data labels, okay, you can see the data labels right now which are shown are for all these particular data points, right? So if I go in data labels, and if I go to values, and if I show it in white color, and if I increase the size of this, right? So you can see it is showing us for all these particular data points, but I would just want to show the minimum value and the maximum value. So for that, what you have to do, you have to write one more DAX calculation. So I will just show you what should be that calculation. So I will just go over here and I will just right click over here and I will create a new measure. Okay. So the new measure, I will name it as min max albums. Okay, so min-max albums line chart. I will name it as min-max albums line chart, so it will be easy for us to identify. Okay, and I will take a new line because it's a big calculation we are going to use. So we are going to use some variables over here. So the first value I will find out will be the max value. Okay, so I'll just write the max value first. So underscore max value. So for this, I will write a calculation. I will be using a function as maxx. Okay, and it takes three particular. I mean to say the two compulsory arguments are there. That is what table we are going to use. Okay, and what is the expression. So for in that table also, what we are going to use, we are going to use an all selected function. Okay, so why we are going to use this all selected? Because in this particular area chart, we have used all the years from 2013, you can say the data is there, to 2014. Okay, so all the years are available for us, which are present over here, but we have to select all the years, and from that all the years we have to find out one maximum. So we have to use all selected, because if you are not using all selected, it will not able to identify the maximum value. And if we are only using without all selected, if you are using this particular thing, then it will just shows all the values again in this particular function, right? So the all selected, that is nothing but whichever are there in visualization, everything will be selected available in the visualization, right? And then it is give us the value. Then now all selected, I will again take one more argument, that is table name or which column name we are going to use. So we are going to use table year field. Okay, why year field? Because on x-axis year field is there, and for which particular year the maximum value is there, that we have to find out. Okay, because for which year the maximum value is there, those only value we have to put, right? So I'll be using a maximum year field over here. Okay, comma, then I will be using calculate function. Okay, one sec. I'll just close this first. All selected column. You have to close the all selected bracket over here, so it will be only for this argument. And then second argument is the expression. Then I will use the calculate function. Okay. Then what is the expression? It is nothing but we have to find out for a distinct count. Okay. For a distinct count of what? Album name. Right. So what we have done over here, I will explain again. So we are finding out the maximum value. The max function we are going to use, it takes two argument. Give me the table name or the field name, and give me the for which expression we have to find out the maximum value. So I will use a all selected function over here. It is a filter function which is used, or which help us to analyze or just take those particular data which is there in our context, or for which context of data we have to find the maximum. We have to just use all selected whichever errors are available over here. That's the reason we have just given an a reference field for it, that we should use year for all selected years over here, and which expression for distinct count. Okay, because we are using number of columns over here, sorry, the number of albums, but number of albums is calculated how? By taking distinct count of album names. So that's the same way we are using over here, right? The same way we are be using same function. I will just copy this and I will paste it over here. The same function we will be using, just the value will be what here? Min value. And instead of using max x, we will be using min x. Okay. Same thing we will be using. This will give us the maximum value. This will give us the minimum value. Simple, right? One more variable I will write and I will name it as current value. Okay. So current value is nothing but simple this value. That is nothing but distinct count. Okay. So distinct count of album name. Okay, so what does this do is current value is nothing but whatever distinct value is there. This is it will give us this value, that is current value will give all the values which are there available for that year. Now we have to compare all these three and we have to give us the result. Okay, and now I will be using a return function. Okay, okay, so now what it should be written, I will be using a if statement over here. If current value, okay, if I will just copy this instead of typing. If current value is equal to max value. Okay, control C, control V. If current value is equal to max value, or okay, so these are the or. You have to use shift. You can see you have to press shift on your keyboard, and there is a backward slash is there. So shift and backward slash, this is called as a pipe indicator. So two pipe indicator indicates that or, it is a or statement. If current value is equal to max value, I will just copy it same over here. And if current value is equal to mean value, control C, control V. Okay, so this is the first argument over here, right? So you know, if condition takes statements for us, right? So it evaluates the first condition, or it will give us an expression for us, that true or false expression, and based on that it will give us the values, right? So if this condition, and next what we will give, so if this condition satisfies, okay, if this is the condition, then what it should give, it should give us the current value. So it's hard to explain actually, but I hope you are understanding, right? So first expression, so this is the logical condition first for us, right? So either current value should be equal to max value, or the current value is equal to minimum value. If this condition satisfies, then give me the current value, right? That is nothing but it will give me the distinct count of album name, if and only if this condition satisfies. Nothing but maximum value is equal to current value, it will give us the max value. Minimum value is equal to current value, it will give us the minimum value. Either or, okay, I mean to say any of one condition satisfies, it will give me the value. But if both conditions, if this condition does not satisfy, then it should be giving me a blank, right? I don't want anything as an output, right? If satisfies, give me the blank current value. If does not satisfies, I don't want any data label, so I'll just click on this. Okay, so there is a syntax error. Let me check what it is. Okay, so I think so a bracket has been left to close here. Okay, so this is one bracket close and this is one more bracket. So just add two brackets over here more. So, and I will just hit enter now. Now it is valid. Okay, so you can see this is bracket for this max. Then this bracket, you can see it is for distinct count, and this bracket is for the Spotify album name, right? So just close all the brackets, hit enter, close this now. Now select this particular chart, go over here, format visual, go to data labels. Okay, okay, just go to data labels over here, and here go to value. Okay, so this is important for us now. So now instead of choosing here number of albums, okay, then go in this particular data option, just click over here, and we have just written this application, that is calculation of tax. Just select this. As soon as you do, you can see those two values are being selected automatically. Now go in display and here just choose none. Okay, so what it does is for us is no display units. Don't show it either in thousands or in millions or anything. Just show the general value which is available over here, right? So what you have to do, you have to go in data labels, first turn it on, then go to values over here. Instead of this value, you have to go over here and you have to just select the DAX which we wrote. And now you can just increase the font size over here from here, whatever font size you have to mention. Okay. And yeah, one more thing you can do is position. You can either go take above or below. It's up to you which at what position you have to show it on this particular column, right? So in this way, you have to do this. So I hope you understood how to show the minimum and maximum value on the chart instead of showing all the labels. So it is dynamic actually, guys. So automatically the calculation will look into this particular context and it will find the maximum minimum value and it will show us on this particular chart. Understanding? So this was area chart, right? So now we will move ahead and do our next calculations. Okay, guys. So after this, we will move ahead with our next problem statement. So what we have to do is we have to go ahead and find out the latest year and previous year analysis. Okay. So we will do that first and then we will do the other things later, right? So first we will find the latest year and previous year and then we will go ahead and find out the year on year growth, right? Because year on year growth formula depends on the latest year and previous year, right? So for that, first what I will do, I will create a container over here which will take those particular metrics. So for that, I will just use this container itself, Control C and Control V. I will just bring it down. Okay. And I will just go in general and I will go in properties and I will specify the height and width for this. So the height for me, I will use it as 432 and the width I will be using as 427. Okay. So this will be the height and width for me. All right. And now next thing what I will do is here you can see the created dashboard. The other things we have to do over here. So I'll just take it a little bit up. And what I will do, I will just select this both the shapes first and I will go in style and in border I will turn it on and the border I will use it as black. Okay, at 2 megapixel, right? Or I will just make it 4. Okay, yeah, this is fine. All right. Now we will just check and create this particular chart. But if you notice over here, behind these values which we are using over here, there is a small area chart which we are using, right? So this same area chart, this is the area chart. It is just showing us the trend of the albums over time. So the number of albums over time. So we will do the same thing over here. I will just copy this, Control C and Control V, and I will use the same area chart over here. So what I will do first, I will just go over here and we will do some formattings for that. For x-axis, I will turn off the values as well. I will turn off the data labels as well. And on lines, I will just take the width as 0 first, 0 pixel, and color we will change it. Okay. I will go in more colors and I will choose the hex code which we'll be using. It will be 4F3C3C. Okay. So this will be the code we'll be using. And in markers I will turn off the markers as well. All right, and we will do one more thing. You can see in the line here the input additional type is smooth. I will choose it as linear. Okay, and then I will reduce it and we'll place it over here. Okay, in this way you can see here, right? So in this the same way we have added it over here. I will increase likewise and let's see. Okay, just let's take it in bit inside. Perfect. Okay, or in this way. All right. Now, next thing what we will do some quick formatting on this. And first we will add the title over here. So you can see the title which is present over here. That title we will add. That is nothing but we will add the latest year versus previous year, right? So I will just use the same text which is available over here. I will just select it. So on the corner of this particular text box, you have to click. And I will click Control C, Control V, and I'll bring it over here. And I will name it as latest year. Okay, that is nothing but ly, and on next line I will name it as versus previous year analysis. Okay, and I will name it as PY. Okay, so this will be our latest year versus previous year analysis. So, and I will just choose the left alignment. All right. So the font, we will keep it as same only. All right. So the same font we will keep it. That is nothing but and I will just choose all, and I will just not use bold for it. All right. So same way over here also, we won't choose it as bold. I mean, just keep it normal. All right. Yeah, perfect. All right. So now after this, we will find out our metrics, that is latest year and previous year albums, right? So for that, we have to obviously use the date table. Okay. And that's the reason we have already created the date table for this. And whenever you are analyzing and finding out anything which is related to current year and which is related to historical dates, we have to always use the date table. Or instead of that, I can say that it is recommended, and it is recommended by Microsoft Power BI developers itself, that you should use a date table to do this particular analysis, right? And that's the reason we will be doing it the same over here. So first what I will do, we will just go over here. So in Spotify table we have, so I'll just right click over here and I will create a new measure. So I'll just click on new measure. So this will be the new measure. I will just increase the size so it will be visible for you, right? So, and I will name this particular as current year, right? I will name it as current year albums, right? So this will be my current year albums, and I will be using two functions over here. So I will just use a variable over here. Okay, and I will name it as first one as current year. Okay, underscore current year. So the first variable I will write, and the formula I will be using as max of year. Okay, so what this will do is this particular variable will give us the maximum year which is available in our entire data set, right? So it will identify first the maximum year, and it is the requirement. Whichever is the maximum year available in our data, we have to find the value for that particular year itself, right? So this is the requirement for us, right? So the maximum year we have identified from here, and now we will use a return function, and I will just use return as I will be using at calculate, and the expression which we have to get, okay, what should be the expression or what should be returned as an output, what should be the aggregation. So we want a distinct count, okay, because we already know we want to find out distinct count of what albums, right? So we will find distinct count of album name, that is what we want, comma, and what should be the filter. So filter is nothing but date table year we have, okay. So the year field, okay, so from date table the year field, it should be equal to this current year, right? Simple. It's very simple logic. What does this do is, what does this particular function will return for us? So it will see the distinct count of album name. Okay, so this is what we have to find out as an expression, and it will look for this filter condition. So the year of the date field, it will take from here, that is whatever will be the maximum year available in our data. So I will tell you what it will be, that it is nothing but 2024. If you go ahead and check, 2024 is the latest or the maximum year we have, and that is nothing but current year. So instead of current year, I will use it as latest year. So it, you will not get confused. So I will use it as latest year. So it will be our latest year, and I will just copy this. Sorry, copy this, and I will paste it the same over here, right? So we are using the same function. I will just click on OK, close this, and now I will take a new card, or what we will do, I'll just use this same Control C, Control V. So we don't have to do much formatting. And instead of number of albums, we are going to find it like current year albums, right? I'll increase this likewise. All right. So these are the current year albums, right? So now what we will do, we will do some more formattings on this. So I'll just select that visual, go to format visual, and then I will just go to call out value. And here I will choose it, the font as Calibri. I will make it bold, and I will choose the font size as 40 itself, and the color I will be choosing as, I will go in more colors, and I will be using the hex code as E1C233. Okay, so this will be the hex code which I will be using. and I will just place it over here. Alright, so you can see here, let me see where we have placed it. Okay, yeah, so this is the albums. Perfect. So these are actually the current year albums, right? And now next what we will do, we will go ahead and find out the previous year, right? Uh, and then later after finding out the previous year, we will go ahead and find out the year on year albums, right? So what we will do, we will be using the same function over here. So the same thing, the way we have found out this, so I will name it as, instead of current year, I will name it as latest year, right? So you will understand. And I will just right click and I'll just create a new measure again. And I will name it as previous year albums. Okay. Here also we'll be using the same thing. Okay. The same way we'll be using, I will define first variable. Okay. First I will name it as current year. Okay. Or latest year. So first I will find out the latest year. Okay. So latest year is nothing but, it is nothing but my maximum of the year field we have. So it will be the maximum of year. Then variable, one more variable, previous year. So for me, I will find out the previous year as well. So previous year is nothing but what? So whatever latest year we have, it is nothing but the maximum. So previous year is nothing but 1 year back from this latest year, right? So it will be nothing but our previous year. We have to go 1 year back. So it will be our previous year. So what we have to do, we have to take latest year and we have to go 1 year back. Simple. Okay. So that is nothing but we want. And we will return. So what should be an output? We will use a calculate function and we want a distinct count, right? Distinct count of what? Album names, comma. The filter condition should be what? The year should be. Okay, so the year field we have in date table, it should be equal to what? Our previous year. Nothing but this. Paste it and close the bracket. And I'll just hit enter. So only one thing we have done here, we have added one more variable over here, that is latest year minus one, because this is our latest year and we have to go 1 year back. So that's the reason we have subtracted one from this, so that we will get previous year, and the same previous year we have called it over here. That is for this particular filter, it will take the feed from here and you will get the this particular as an previous year album. See, there is a easy way also to write this calculation, but to help you understand why we wrote this, I have written in this way, or you can use shortcuts also. So it's up to you how you write the tax, right? So this is my way of writing so that everyone can understand. So I will just close this, and if I will just Control C and Control V, and if I take it over here, I will close this and I will choose the previous year album. So you can see this is the current year albums and these are the previous year albums. If you want to check also, if I click over here, you can see the 2024 is the latest year which is available in our data and the value is 1824. And when you go to previous year, that is 2023, is 2333. So you can validate it from here as well. Okay. Now next thing what we have to find out is we have to go ahead and find out the year on year. Right, so now this particular year-on-year analysis, or the value which we'll be calculating for year-on-year, it is something tricky which we are going to find out. So just pay attention how we are doing that. So what I will do, I'll just create one more calculation now, use a new measure, and I will name it as year, or I can say previous year and year-on-year albums KPI. Okay, because in this single calculation only we are going to find out everything, because if you see here, this particular entire value, right? So versus previous year, this text as well, and then this value as well, and then this percentage as well, right? So this entire thing will be calculated as a single KPI. So the same thing we are going to do over here. That's the reason I have named it as previous year and year on year albums KPI, because it will take the values of all previous year as well and year on year as well. So first what I will do, I will define first variable, okay, and I will name it as latest. Okay, so for me, it will be latest. Latest value for albums is nothing but we have already calculated. It is nothing but it is latest year. Where is it? The latest year albums. So I will bring that. So this is the latest year albums for me. I will define the second variable, that is nothing but previous. And for me, the previous year value also we have already calculated. So this is the latest year and previous year, right? Now new variable we will introduce over here, and here we have to find out year on year, right? So this will be a new variable, and this is something important for us. Now what I will be using, I will be using a if condition, right? First I will write the entire calculation, and then I will tell you how what's the explanation behind that. So if statement I have used, the first argument it is asking logical test. Okay. So first write the logical test, right? What if this particular statement should check for what logical test, and after that you have to write the result. If this condition is true, what should be the result? If this condition is false, what should be the result, right? So both condition we have to write. So I will use a first not statement. Okay, not. Okay, and after that I will write is blank, not is blank, previous, control C, control V, close the bracket, and I will close the bracket for not as well, comma. Okay, so this is my logical test. Okay, actually, right? So not is blank PS, what does it mean? That previous year. Okay, so from previous is nothing but what? Previous year albums. If previous year albums is not blank, okay, is you can read this in this way also, is not blank. So this is the logic. If it is not blank, then I should know what should be the result, right? Because the formula for year on year is nothing but latest albums minus previous albums divided by previous albums. So that division matters for us. If anything is divided by zero, you will get a value as infinity. And that's the reason we have wrote this particular statement over here. It should not blank, or it should not be equal to zero, right? Then you will get an output over here. So what should be this condition? If this is true, if it is not blank, then we have to write the true statement over here. It is nothing but divide. Okay, because we will divide what? Underscore current or underscore latest value minus underscore previous value, right? And comma. So numerator will be what? This, right? So numerator will be what? Latest value, that is nothing but latest year albums minus previous year albums divided by what? Previous year albums, right? Comma, alternate result. Okay, so if this division does not works, okay, if this division is not able to give us the correct result, right? If it is divided by zero, let's say the previous year sales are zero, right? Then what will happen? Anything divided by zero is what? Infinity. But that should not be the case, right? You cannot divide anything by zero. So if this condition does not work, what should be the alternate result? Just give zero. So that's the way we will be dividing, right? Comma, I will just write on next line. So what will happen if this statement, that is if this logical statement is false, right? If it is false, then just give us blank. Don't print anything, just give us blank. So in this way, we have found out the year on year. I will explain it again. If statement, if previous year is not a blank, it is nothing but if previous year is having some value, 1, 2, 3, 4, anything, then use this condition, right? That divide the latest year or the latest year albums minus previous year albums divided by previous year albums. If this condition satisfies, give the value, otherwise give zero, right? But if this logical test does not satisfy, just give blank, right? So that's the way we write this particular calculation, right? Then I will just use return. Now we have found out everything, right? So you have found out the latest year sales, you have previous year sales, and you have year on year sales. And so now we have to find out the return. So now this is important for us. We have to get this as an output, right? So I will again use a if statement. Okay, if not, again I will use the same statement, not is blank, not is blank underscore previous. Okay, so if not is blank previous, comma, if this condition is satisfied, then what will be the output? We want to print everything which is available over here, right? So nothing but we have to print this particular value. So first what we want versus previous year, and then there is a colon available over here, right? So this text we want. So I will print first text. So for that, what I will do, I will just write in double inverted commas, nothing but versus previous year, and then I will add colon and I will add one space over here, and then close this. Then I will concatenate this, right? Because to have this particular value also, I have to write an AND statement. That is nothing but concatenate two particular text, right? And I will format that. Format underscore previous year. So see, whatever you write in this particular concatenation, it will be considered as a string value or a textual value. It is not considered as a numeric value. So that's the reason we have used the format over here. So format previous comma. So format what value we have already taken and what should be the format of that this particular value. So format I will use internally noted comma hashtag comma hash 0. Okay, so this will be the format which we'll be using, and I will close the bracket. First close this double inverted comma. Okay, so it is nothing but it will show me the values, full value, and there will be a 1,000 separator over here. That is nothing but a comma. Okay, and I will use more and more and because now we have versus previous year and we have this value also now, and one space will be there, and in bracket this particular percentage should be there. So I will take it on next line. First I will add the bracket, so this will be the bracket, right? And close the bracket again, right? And right, so we have this bracket, right? So this bracket we have opening bracket, I can say, and then I will use a format function again because we have to format the year on year as well because it will be converted into text, so we have to convert it into a percentage. So underscore year on year, right? Because this value, that is percentage value, we have to find out underscore NREL comma, what should be the format? So in doubly noted comma, I will take two decimal points, so 0.00, and it should be in percentage, right? Close the bracket and close this particular bracket. And again, after this value, what we want, again, one more bracket we want over here. You can see one bracket is there, right? So for that, what I will do, I will just use and I will just close this particular bracket by this, right? Comma. So this is all, if this result is true, it will print this, right? If this condition satisfies, it will print this. But if it is false, right? If this condition does not satisfy, then what it should print, we have to use comma over here. Then what it should print, I'll just write on next line. So it should print me no data. Okay. That is nothing but no data is available, and I will close the bracket, right? And just hit enter. Close this, and in this only, so just delete this, and I will bring the previous year and error album. So here you can see this is the value we have. But here you can see one space is required over here. After this 2333, one space is required. So we will edit our calculation here, right? So before this bracket or after we want, yeah, before we want, right? So where is it? This calculation and this before this, I will add one space over here and just hit enter and close this. Now you can see there is a space in between. And now I'll just format this over here, go to callout value, and here I will just choose it as let's say 26. Okay, and I'll not bold it, and I will choose the color for this as hashtag DEDA1F, right? So this will be the color which we'll be using, and bring it over here. Perfect, right? So yeah, in this line. Actually, it is slightly green in color. What we will do, we'll just select this and I will just choose it again and we'll just go in more colors. Yeah, so we'll choose this particular color. So this is our current or latest year value, and this is its comparison with previous year. So this is the previous year value, the 2333 and minus 21. So now what we will do, I will add the filter. Okay, so this particular select platform filter, I will add it over here and we will see how it performs, right? So just go over here, I will add the slicer. Okay, I brought the slicer, I will just increase the size and I will add the platform. Okay, just select this and just go over here and I will choose some instead of vertical list, I will use it as tile. Okay, so just use it as tile, and what I will do, I'll just reduce the size likewise. And first I will choose Android. Okay, and I will just go to slicer settings and selection. Okay, that's fine. And in values, we will increase this size so it will be visible for us. Okay, so now we can see Android has been selected for now, and you can see the values are right now for Android. But as soon as you change it for cast to device, you can see we are getting a blank value and no data over here. Why? Because the latest or the available year which is there in the data to analyze, you can see it's 2022, but we are checking it everything for the latest year, that is nothing but 2024, right? So you can also do the twist in the calculation that irrespective of whichever year is there in our data, whichever is the latest year for, let's say, iOS. Okay, so for iOS the latest year is 2020, for Windows the latest year is 2023. So irrespective of that, it should show me the value, right? So I will choose cast to device. So you can see for 2022 it is 5. So irrespective of whichever year we have, the maximum year should be taken from the visualization and it should show me the value over here. And the previous year for this particular Casto device will be 2021. Take that particular 2021 value and show me the all the data over here. So in that way, it should give me the results. So for that, you can do it your own homework. But for this particular, uh, I can say analysis, I will just check for 2024. And because Casto device does not have any 2024 data, it will give me the blank results, right? Because we are just checking it for the latest year which is available in the data. And it is only available for Android, and I think so it is available for Windows. No, for web player, no, nothing for only Android it is available, right? And I will just give you hint how you can write the calculation. I have already wrote over here. So you can see you can check the use of this particular calculation because we are using some filter functions and all those things in this. This is the new function which has been introduced, create as and the values function, and it will help you understand. I have also wrote the use case of what it will give us, right? So just try to use this calculation instead of that to use the use case which I just told you. Otherwise, we are looking it for 2024. Just ignore it, right? So just ignore it. We'll just look it for 2024 itself, right? It doesn't matter if other does not have because majority of people are viewing this particular or listening this particular music on Android itself, right? It is very less on iOS. iOS you can see only 660 users are there, right? Or only 660 albums are being played over time. So it's better we should focus on Android itself. All right. So now next what we have to show here, you can see we have to show the 2024 value also here. That is nothing but which is the latest year and for which year we are analyzing it, right? So it's important for us to show that particular value also. For that, I will write a new measure over here and I will name it as max year, right? So it will be nothing but maximum of year. So it's simple for us. We'll just take maximum of year and hit enter, and I'll just copy this, control C control V. So I'll just close this and I'll just take the maximum of year. So that is nothing but 2024 obvious, right? Let's do some formatting on this. Let's go to call out value and I will choose the value as 27. Calibre is what we want. And next thing what I will do, I'll just choose the color code for me as hashtag 808080. Okay, so this will be the color code. Simple. And I'll just bring it over here. All right. So this is the analysis for latest year versus previous year. All right. So I hope you understood. We have used some advanced calculations, some advanced tags, right? Because writing these tags is not that easy. It comes by practice, and you can use your own twist and tricks why we wrote this. Important is why we used format function over here. Because whenever you are using an AND operator, which is used to add to text, because when we use AND operator, automatically this particular value, that is previous year value, it gets converted to text. And to format the text, we have to use format function so that it should show in the form of number. Here you can see it is a number, but it is actually the data type as text, right? So that's the reason we have to use the format function over here. But for visual representation, whatever we see by our naked eye, it is a text itself. All right. So I hope you're understanding, and if you have come at this particular point that you are following this video, you're doing great, guys, right? And I'm sure that you will be learning so much of new things from this particular project. All right. So now let's move ahead. So our next problem statement, if you see, we have to find out the albums played on weekdays and weekends. Okay, so this is something we have to do, and there isn't any column available for us which will identify which are weekdays and weekends, right? So what we have to do, we have to create that particular column first for us. And what we will do, I will just go in date table. So I will just go in data first. So let's go here and I will choose the date table. So in this particular date table, what I will do, I will just extract the day name over here first, right? So I will just go here and I will create a new column. So this is a row operation we are doing. So I'm doing a new column. So as I told you, calculated column, if you want to do a row by row operation, then you have to use a calculated column. And if you are doing any aggregations, then you have to use a calculated measure, or we can say just measure, right? And I'll just use it as day. Okay, so if you use a day, it will give you the day number, but we don't want day number, so I will use a format function over here. And what should be the value? That is nothing but date from date table, comma, and what the format should be, nothing but I will just use DDD, and I'll just hit enter. So you can see when I type DDD, it will give me the first three initials of that particular we can say days, right? So Monday, Tuesday, likewise. And I will name it as day name. Okay. So this is the day name for us: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and likewise. So on that particular date, which was the day name. All right. Now next we have to identify which are weekdays and which are weekends. So we all know that Monday to Friday it will be considered as weekdays, and Saturday and Sunday we will consider it as weekends. So for that, again I will write a new measure over here. Just go, sorry, new column, and I will name it as weekday underscore weekend. Okay, so this will be the uh, calculation which we'll be writing over here, and I will be using an if condition. So if the weekday function, we'll use a weekday, so it is considered, it is allowing us to take the first argument is what is the date. And if you read the explanation over here, returns a number from 1 to 7, identifying the day of the week of that date, right? So it will give us the numbers from 1 to 7. So weekday will actually give us the numbers from 1 to 7, but we can control from which particular date the week should, or which particular day the week should be starting. So I will just write the date. So date is nothing but we'll be using the date from the date table. So this is the date we have, that is nothing from date table date, comma, what should be the return type, from where it should start its measurement. So I will be using 2 over here. I will hit enter, and I will just close one more bracket, and as soon as I hit enter, so it is giving me an error. Okay, so yeah, so if we have used the if condition, but we forgot to add what if this logical test is true, then what should be the result if this logical test is true. So if it is true, then it should return us as weekday. And if this is false, so you can see what should be the output. If it is false, then it should return us as weekend. Simple. And hit enter. So now you can see automatically Monday it is giving us as weekday, and Saturday, Sunday also it is giving us as weekday. But see, everything you have wrote, but if we haven't given any condition, a logical test, that is if it is greater than or equal to, or greater than or less than. So if this is less than or equal to 5, if you add this condition, then it will give us the correct result. So you can see Sunday and Saturday and Sunday are now are considered as weekend. So the spelling is wrong over here. So I will just write double. Now you can see Monday, Friday, those are considered as weekdays, and Saturday, Sunday are considered as weekend. Again, Monday it is starting as weekday. So now how this calculation actually works, I will tell you by by using an Excel sheet. So you can see I have an Excel sheet created for you over here. So whatever calculation we have wrote, I will just copy this calculation first. Control C and I will paste it over here. Right. So now let's see how it works. Right. So here you can see this is the calculation which we wrote. And now if you look over here, the dates. So these are some approximate dates we have taken. I mean to say random dates we have taken. And when I'm using weekday, comma 2. Okay, so when I'm using this particular function, so why I've used comma 2, because I want to start Monday as a week number as 1, right? If I'm using 1, it will start Sunday to start as 1, right? Or if I'm not writing anything at all, it will automatically consider Sunday as 1. So likewise, we have wrote 2 over here. That's the reason it is starting from 1 over here as Monday, 2 as Tuesday, and Sunday will be 7, right? And if it is less than or equal to 5, it is nothing but if it is less than or equal to 5, this condition, right? So if I will just highlight this, so it will check for this condition. If this is less than or equal to 5, then it should be giving me as weekdays. That is nothing but this. Getting or not? And if this condition satisfies, then it will print as weekday. But if this condition does not satisfies, right? So you can say Saturday is given as 6. So this condition fails, and that's the reason it will give me print as weekend. Similarly, this also it will print as weekend. So this is actually how it works, right? So I hope you're understanding. Comma 2 is nothing but it allows Monday to start as the first day in the week, right? And if it is less than or equal to 5, it is nothing but everything which is less than or equal to 5, that is from 1 to 5. If this condition satisfies, it will give us the weekday. And if it is 6 and 7, this condition will fail, that is less than or equal to 5. 6 is not less than or equal to 5, 7 is not less than or equal to 5. So this condition fails, and that's the reason it will print us weekend. So I hope you understand. This is the best way I can help you understand. So we'll go back to our report view. Now we have used this calculation we already have, and now I will just select donut chart. So this will be the donut chart we'll be using, and I will just choose weekend, and we will be using as number of albums, right? So based on this, we have derived this particular thing. Now what I will do, first I will just select this particular container which we already have over here, Control C and Control V, and I will bring it over here. So the same container we'll use. Perfect. Right? And now we'll do some formattings on this particular chart. So just select this chart, go over here, go to general, first go to effects and turn off the background. Right? So I will just give the name of the title also. So the title will be nothing but albums played. Okay. And I will just choose it as center alignment, and the font size we'll be using as 28. The font style we will use at Calibri bold, and color I'll use as this, right? Or we'll use this one. Okay, this is fine. So we'll not bold it. All right. And we will do some more formattings on this. First, I will bring it over here. All right. And then go in visual. So in legend, what we will do, instead of center right, we'll show it as top center. Okay. So you can see this visual has gone behind this particular shape. So what we will do, just select this particular shape first, go to format, and we will click on send backward. So just click once, it will automatically come forward. Now select this, go over here, go to legend, go to text. So choose your top center, so it will be showing at top center. Turn off the title because we don't want to show the title. So after that, choose the font as 18. Okay, and the font color as this one, or we'll choose this. Okay, weekdays and weekends. Next, go to slices, and for weekday, we will choose the color for us as hashtag 43B04C. So this will be the color code which we'll be using, 43B04C. And for weekend, I will choose the color code as hashtag 333666. Okay, 6 times 6 you have to use. Okay. And spacing, I will use it as 65%. Okay, the spacing in between this. Then go to details and values. So the values we will choose the color as this and we'll increase the size. Okay, we'll choose it as Calibri. Increase it more. Alright. And display units will choose it as none, so it will show us the full value. Alright. So in this way we have created this particular chart. Just go over here and in values what we will do, we'll close it as bold. And instead of this we'll choose it this 17 is fine, or we'll just choose it as 18 itself. Okay, so you can see if you take an insights from here, the albums played weekday and weekend. So you can see this is the weekday pattern and it's almost 61%, but only 2 days. So these are 5 days, right? So this is the contribution of 5 days. But if you only look on weekend, it is contribution of Saturday and Sunday. So almost 40% of people are listening to those albums, right? So it's a good insight for us, right? So that people are engaging more and more on weekdays. Sorry, on weekends. Weekdays are also fine, but they are more engaging on weekends, right? So that's the insight for us. All right.